6-5 Los Angeles Chargers travel to Cincinnati to play the 7-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati's favored by 3, coming off a heck of a victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which now the roles are reversed. Now the Steelers are the little brothers and the Bengals are the big brothers. They crushed them 41-10. They outrushed them 198-51. Joe Mixon had 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is an offensive line for this football team that everybody thought was going to be the weak point of the football team. But surprisingly, they're one of the focal points of this football team, running and protecting their quarterback. Joe Burrow's having a terrific year, 22 touchdown passes, 10 picks, but he's completing 69% of his passes. But you look at their young wide receiving core. That's why I'm excited for the Cincinnati Bengals. They have a young quarterback, young wide receivers in Jamar Chase. He's averaging 18 yards per catch with 8 touchdowns. T. Higgins is averaging 13 yards per reception with 3 touchdowns. And Tyler Boyd is averaging 10.2 with 2 touchdowns. I'm just impressed what this coach has done, Zach Taylor, with his football team this year, because nobody really thought Cincinnati would be that good this fast. But now look at them rolling now. I like the Cincinnati football team, and I used to really be impressed with the Chargers, Justin Herbert. He's still having a great year, the 24 touchdowns and 10 picks, but this team just isn't closing out games like we thought they would defensively. Joey Bosa and this defense has to play much better, particularly in this game. I got the Bengals winning this game, Coach, 34-21.
Justin Herbert has just done a tremendous job. 3,230 yards. The problem is, Mark, he doesn't have an awful lot of help at the wide receiver core. Your defense not playing well. Joey Bosa has 7.5 sacks, but he can't do it all by himself. They're averaging 4.6 yards per rush. They're giving up 4.7 yards per rush. You look at the statistics, they versus their opponents, they're almost perfectly equal. When I look at the fact, though, they're a game behind. I'm referring to the Chargers behind Kansas City. On the other hand, the Bengals are 1 game behind the Ravens. So this is a big game for both of them. We're going to get the maximum effort. Now, when I look at the Bengals, you have to start with Joey Burrows. You mentioned, Mark, all the success he's had, 68% completion. Their offense is averaging 5.8 yards a play, which is very, very good. Run isn't particularly great, but they're just very mediocre in all statistics except at the receiver. You mentioned Mixon running so well. He has 924 yards this year. I love Chase. He's a young man who was a receiver, won the Bletnikoff Award as a junior at LSU, chose not to play his senior year, and came out. But remember, he played with Burrows in college, and so they really know one another from LSU. They've won 2 in a row. They're 1 game behind the Ravens. I think that they find a way. Bengals are the surprise team this year. Bengals 28, Chargers 20.